So a lot of people ask me if I've ever personally struggled with depression and suicide. I've never struggled with suicide, but I feel like there have been times in my life, especially on tour, where I've gotten into a deep state of depression due to missing my family or feeling alone. A lot of times I feel alone even when my band is just a couple feet away from me in a bus. And the thing with that is people who are depressed usually don't show it, don't express it as much as they probably should when they have support around them. My band's always been there for me, and they're always there to pick me up if I do show that I feel alone or whatever. But sometimes there's just no way to escape it, especially when there's constant drinking for me and constant like I said, missing my family, wishing I could be home, missing my friends. But really the only escape I've found in time is not even my band or their friendship or the support. It's being able to sit on my computer and write songs and record melodies and record songs over beats that Ty has given me, or songs that my manager sends me. Having the capability of just doing that unlimited is my personal diary. I don't really write down or blog or whatever most people do. I just write songs, and sometimes they're not even catchy or not even that awesome, but they're just really me pouring my emotion into a song. And that's kind of how I've escaped my anxiety and my loneliness. I've never, I've never struggled with suicide, though I've had friends or people around me who have. But I guess in a sense I've been in a state where you could think wow, this is what people feel before they become suicidal. And I promised that I would never let myself get that way, because that's just not the person I am. So yeah, music is my diary, I guess. So I meet a lot of fans on tour who come from broken homes and come from crazy past lives. I meet a lot of fans too that have cuts and scars on their arms or on their legs, and it breaks my heart. But the craziest thing is seeing fans with tattoos where their scars used to be, and you can vaguely see the scars, but the stories behind them when they come up to me and they tell me about how my music saved their life, or they met me at a show and I might have said something to them that really inspired them to give up their lifestyle of depression. And not that depression's a lifestyle, but to give up you know what I'm talking about, to give it up. And that's such a blessing to me, to see that people would replace their bad habits with my lyrics or some kind of ode to me or my band, because that's basically what we live for. That's basically what we write about. And actually on Warped Tour, I met a kid who came up to me and he told me, my sister was your biggest fan. You took a picture with her last year at some show in Dallas, and she really loved you, and she couldn't be here today because she committed suicide a couple months ago. And it hit me pretty hard, and his dad was there, and I just remember that moment in time, my heart sank, and I thought how crazy it was that I couldn't be there to change the fact that she did it, but apparently according to her dad and brother, exact words from their mouth where we would have lost her a long time ago if it wasn't for your music. So I just remember going back to my bus and mellowing out for a minute and being so depressed over it. And craziest thing, we had a tattoo artist in our bus that day, so I immediately got this tattoo, and it's not that awesome, but we just drew it on some little hearts with a Sharpie, and we just put it on there just so the way I felt that moment in time. I just want to be sure that every time I look at this tattoo, I can feel that way and remember, why I do what I do or why I play music. Everybody always says like, oh, you have, such a big platform and such a big demographic of younger fans that look up to you, and they pressure you to write about certain things or to be like this inspiration or be like a role model at all times. And to a certain extent, like, I agree with it. I love it. I love being able to like influence kids positively. But the crazy thing is when people will judge you because sometimes you just want to write a fun song or like a party song or just a song about, normal shit, because people don't always like just listening to the same depressed stories or the same like uplifting motivational stuff all the time. I mean, I personally don't, and I reflect that in my music. Realism is like my biggest inspiration. It's not about just like abuse or drugs or relationships. Like, I have fun in life too, I party or whatever. Like, I go out with my friends, we go to movies, we do fun stuff. So I mean, it's like, why can't you just like, the balance is important to me because like I said, realism is my inspiration. So every song has to be real, whether it's good real or bad real. Like, that's, you gotta feel what I'm talking about, and it can't always be like so dark. Yeah. My advice to anybody struggling with suicide or depression or anxiety for that matter, I really don't know what to say because everybody's brain chemicals are different and everybody's lives are different, everybody's home lives are different. But my advice is, take it from me, find something that you're really passionate about and find that place to go, almost meditate over it, because when you find yourself in that hobby, there's happiness within it, and it'll take you away from like those anxieties and those struggles. Like I said, for me, it's writing, it's music. Music is almost like acting to me, and sometimes, because I can pretend I'm somebody else and then tell a story from somebody else's perspective. So if I'm depressed or whatever, I almost put on a show for my mind and just write about something that's crazy off the wall and in a different world, different perspective, and that almost just takes me to a different place where I can be happy and find comfort and not be